chiefs and wise ones know what I saw in Viridian. They saw it
The
too.
people cannot face that truth.
What in the light's name is going on?
This is what I was born to do.
What's up with it? Last night we got the season finale for The Wheel of Time, and I gotta say this. I like the last episode better. Now I think The Wheel of Time is taking a play out of Game of Thrones playbook, where the next to the last episode is always the one with the most action in it. It's always the best. Maybe they're doing that. Or either they just did a lot of stuff that fell flat in this episode for me. We got to see Randall Thor go ahead and expose the secret to the Aiel of who they really are. Now, the Aiel are some of the best warriors on the planet in the Wheel of Time. The greatest warriors. You know what I'm talking about? That's who they are. But Rand had to let them know, y'all come from these soft cats, these suckers, these pushovers, these passive people, and you're oath breakers. You're oath breakers. A lot of them couldn't stomach that. They did a lot of stuff different in the show than they do in the books. I've said that time and time again. I've kind of accepted it. A lot of stuff is happening out of place. Like they're doing different time frames than it happened in the books. Like for instance, this right here, I want to say it's a little bit more down the line than in the books than it is on the TV show. And they did things different because Kaladin or Kaladin, however you say his name is, the one from the other Aiel that went away. Like, I don't think it was Lanfear. No, it wasn't Lanfear that put the double dragons on his arms. It was another Forsaken that was in the camp, or not Forsaken. It was another Black Agile, somebody like that was in the camp that did it. It wasn't Lanfear. The battle with Lanfear and Moiraine doesn't happen yet, and it happens very different. Like, Moiraine doesn't fight her by herself. Like, oh, let me talk about some issues that I have. Listen, one thing I've learned is that when people take over people's creative properties or creative entities, once they turn it from a book into a show or from a book into a movie or whatever, people want to put their own imprint on it. And I understand some changes have to happen. Some characters can't come along. Sometimes you have to, you know what I'm saying, meld a couple of characters together or the storylines together in order to do whatever you need to do. You can't tell every single detail or every story that's in the books. You can't do that. But some of these showrunners and these movie directors or whatever, screenplay writers, whatever, they decide that they want to put their own personal stamp on the show. And if they come from certain backgrounds or certain cultures, they're going to spin it towards that. You know what I'm talking about? I learned that with, what was the movie that I seen a long time ago? Avatar, the kids show, Avatar, The Last Airbender. Whenever, what's his name? Because I can't stand him now. He used to be a great director. Gosh, what's his name? Indian guy. Anyway, M. Night Shyamalan. Yes, when he took it and turned that into a movie and he decided, oh, well, my people are from India and India's in Asia, and he made the whole Fire Nation all people from India. I was like, that's not how I expected them to be depicted, but that's what he decided to do. And in The Wheel of Time, like watching the behind the scenes and the after show takes, I realized that the showrunner he's a gay guy. You know what I'm saying? So in this show, no disrespect to the LGBTQ community, but they decided to make Moiraine and what's her name? Suwan Sanche, they decided to make them a couple. That's not in the books at all. Like, both of those people marry men. You know what I'm talking about? Like, they decided to make them a couple. And spoilers, I knew that they were going to kill Suwan Sanche. I knew that because the storyline didn't make sense, especially watching the show and the buildup of the things that was going to happen. And I knew that Elaida Aes Sedai or Elaida was going to take over because that happens in the books eventually. But the way she took over and the way they was handling things, I was like, they finna kill Suwan Sanche. And the way they did it was they tried to build up this love story between her and Moiraine and try to make it so powerful and so impactful and so dramatic that when Suwan died, that we was gonna be like, oh my gosh, oh no. And the feedback from the backlash and the power was gonna hit Moiraine and strike her so much that even though she had a sword in her belly, she was gonna power up and strike Lanfear and make her run off. That doesn't happen in the books at all. You know what I'm saying? In the book, she has a Tarangial Sarangyal, I don't even know how to say it right, but she has Torangrial or whatever she has, and she uses it to trap her and Lanfear in another dimension where they wind up getting tortured. If you haven't read the books yet, I'm sorry for the spoiler as far as that go, but that's what happens. Like, she can't beat Lanfear. She can't. I want to say in the books, it was her, Rand, Egwene, the Aes Sedai was there. It was a bunch of people there when she wound up fighting Lanfear. In the books, they set her off in the desert somewhere to where they're shooting concussive blast, and it's a whole display of magic and powers, and the Aes Sedai over there having a meeting about who is the Dragon Reborn or the Karakorn, and nobody notices this. Nobody sees this. I'm very confused by that. But once again, like they built up this love story between these two women in order to have this dramatic payoff, and it just didn't land. It didn't land. Like it didn't stick either way. And I don't know if it's because they are older women or whatever, but it just didn't stick the landing. It didn't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come away feeling bad for Siuan. I didn't come away feeling bad for Moiraine. Like I just didn't. You know what I'm talking about? When Lan picked up and carried off Moiraine, I was like, okay, on to the next season. We'll see how it's going to go. Even with the part with her and Rand having a conversation and him telling her that he knew that she set up all of those bad stuff to happen to push him and make him stronger. And she always had his best interest, and he understood. Like, that doesn't happen in the books to the very end. Like, Rand don't realize that until a lot of stuff has happened. So he has fumbled and messed up a lot whenever Moiraine wasn't around. That's when Rand finally figures that out. You know what I'm talking about? Like, he doesn't figure that out early on like he does here. So, you know, I'm complaining about that. In the books, Tanchico hasn't happened yet at this point of the story. They kind of switched that around. You know what I'm saying? But Nynaeve does figure her powers out in Tanchico. I will say that part. It was dope to see her finally figure her powers out as she got thrown into the ocean with, you know what I'm saying, chained up. That just gave me flashbacks to all the little Africans that decided to walk into the ocean instead of go away on slave ships. Like, why would you do that? Why would you put a black woman in chains and throw her in the ocean like that? That's just me personally putting my personal feelings into things. We saw Matrim Cauthon. We saw him meet the Elfin. Like, that doesn't happen in this order. It happens in a whole nother place. But I'm confused on what happened because it seems like they took the other thoughts and memories out of his head. Now, in the books, that's one of the best things about Matrim because it makes him a great warrior and a great leader because he has the memories and the thoughts of other war captains and generals and leaders in his brain. So the Elfin took that away, which is weird. And he's talking about he lost memory. Like, why would they do that? And, you know, he has the amulet that protects him against magic, but I'm just real confused on the gifts that he got from the Elfin because it's supposed to be 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know where they're going with that. To see Ilana or whatever with her and I don't know why I can't think of his name. Tom Maryland. You know what I'm talking about? With them talking to him, letting her know that her stepfather is a Forsaken. That doesn't happen in the books. I don't think Tom knows, but Tom does know her from childhood. And I love that interaction where he's letting her know, like, yeah, I watched you as a child. Like, I know you. Because he really becomes a father figure to her in the books. Like, he cares about her a lot. Like, that was dope to see. Like, I love me some Tom Maryland in the books. You know what I'm talking about? So that was dope to see with her killing, you know what I'm saying, yeah, Ilana is pretty powerful. Like, all of the Ilana, Egwene, and Nynaeve are all 3 pretty powerful. I'm just confused by some of the things the show decided to do. But once again, like I said, people put their personal imprint, personal feelings, and personal life story into things. So with them having Egwene and damn, why I can't think of it now. I need to go to sleep. That's what it is. I'm sleepy. Egwene and what is the Aiel lady? But anyway, with them having some type of sexual relationship, like that doesn't happen in the books either. You know what I'm talking about? In the books, Rand marries 3 people. He marries Nym, Egwene, and not Egwene, Nym. Damn, I'm messing up. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm very sleepy. But he marries 3 people in the books. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't happen that way, you know. So I'm confused on that. But anyway, overall, it's been a good season. I just didn't like the finale. It was flat to me. It was flat personally to me. Can't wait to see where they go next season. We're gonna get the IL War. That's what's coming next. I'll probably do a video on that. Stay tuned to your boy Junior.